What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Game Nights. This show is brought to you by Wizards of the Coast.
Now, today we have a really exciting episode. We're playing with the brand new cards from Zendikar Rising, and we have some really exciting guests. But first, we have two announcements that you're going to want to stick around for. First of all, they're back. The Game Nights auditions, they're starting today.
Woohoo!
If you've always dreamed of being on the show, well, you're going to have a chance.
Yep, we're giving you the chance to come out to Los Angeles and film here with Josh and myself and be on an episode of Game Nights. But to find out how, we're going to tell you all the details at the end of the episode, so you're going to have to watch this first to get there.
Yeah, make sure you stick around. And secondly, it's almost over. If you want to get your hands on our Game Nights themed Epic Play playmat with awesome art by renowned artist Jesper Ejsing. You're looking at it right now. Listen, depending on when you're watching this, 3 days, 2 days, maybe 1 day left in that Kickstarter. Go there right now. Make sure you order it, because once that campaign is done, that's it. We're never making this playmat ever again, so there'll be no other ways for you to order it.
Yeah, you really don't want to miss out. And of course, we have to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, cardkingdom.com/command zone. They're a huge reason why we've been able to make Game Nights all of these years. And of course, we trust them above everyone else to get us the cards that we need on time, especially when it comes to making an episode like Game Nights or even having our own game night with our friends here.
Yeah, you want to get your hands on Zendikar Rising stuff, the new Zendikar Commander pre-con decks.
Ooh, yeah.
You want to get those nice expeditions or cool foil showcase cards. Card Kingdom is the place to order all of your Magic singles, products, anything at all. You're going to get that stuff anyway. Just use our affiliate link. When you do, you're supporting this show, extra turns, our podcast, everything we do.
Cardkingdom.com/command zone. And stick around to the end of the episode, because they are also going to be giving away tons of free product to you, our loyal viewers. But first, we got to watch some Game Nights.
How's it, everybody? Welcome back to a new episode of Game Nights. We have two brand new guests on this episode.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Page, a comedian and writer for VENN TV. I'm so excited to be here for my very first episode of Game Nights. Wow!
And we've got an old friend who's been playing Magic with us ever since we first learned about Commander.
Hey everyone, I'm D. You may recognize me from Node and Quarter Digital. I now run my own gaming channel on YouTube and Twitch called Cerberus Arms. I've been playing Magic with Josh and Jimmy for a long time, so I'm glad to finally be here on Game Nights.
Today we're going to be playing with the brand new commanders from Magic's newest set, Zendikar Rising.
Zendikar is a fan favorite plane, and this time around it's all about gathering your friends together in a party and going on an adventure.
The deck I built is Tazri, Beacon of Unity.
Let's get this party started, shall we?
This commander showcases the brand new party mechanic. I really want to show what each creature type can do. Warriors are there to deal damage. Wizards are there to do some crazy magic stuff. Rogues are here to get in for unblockable damage. And clerics, what else? Heal and protect.
So the deck I'm playing today is Drana, the Last Blood Chief. This is a mono black vampire deck, but it's centered around graveyard recursion. So the plan is to stack my graveyard with some scary creatures and cheat them into play before my opponents are ready for them.
The deck I'm playing is Akiri, Fearless Voyager. The strategy is all about equipment. I want to get some powerful weapons onto the battlefield, and then play a bunch of creatures that like to be suited up. And then all the value I get from my commander will lead me to victory.
The commander I'll be playing today is Phylath, World Sculptor. This deck is all about hitting as many landfall triggers as I can, so I can pump my plants up and make them massive. And then I have a bunch of interesting ways to use my now huge creatures, or, you know, I can just do it the old-fashioned way and attack my opponents with them.
All right, let's play.
Let's battle.
Let's get into it.
Let's get this party started.
Welcome to the table, everyone. As is tradition, we must first reveal our amazing UltraPro playmats.
Yeah, woo. Ooh, the Game Nights playmat.
Nice.
That is nice.
Okay, well, we have 2 new players at the table, and we all know what that means.
Oh, it's this moment I've been waiting for.
I dub thee, Sir D. Arise.
I am honored to serve you, my lord.
Ooh. Carolyn, I dub thee, Sir Carolyn. Arise. The flags come down, the banners. Nice, nice.
She brought a whole entourage with her.
Yeah.
That was good.
Welcome to Game Nights.
Only one may stand.
All right, everyone ready?
Yeah.
I will begin by drawing a card. I will play a Scalding Tarn, one of the new cool Expedition ones.
Ooh.
And I will immediately crack it, going to 39. And I will go find a Sacred Foundry.
Nice.
And it will enter the battlefield tapped, so I don't have a 1-drop. Then I will pass the turn, Carolyn.
I'll draw my card for turn. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Play a Steam Vents. I'll take the 2 life. And then, gotta have it.
Turn 1 Soul
Turn 1
Ring.
Soul Ring.
Wow. It's always gotta be somebody.
I'm just glad it's me. And then I'll pass the turn.
All right, I will draw for turn. I will play a Terramorphic Expanse, and I'll pass the turn to you, D.
All right, I will draw for turn, play land, and you know what? You're not the only one. I'm gonna tap 1, play Soul Ring.
Oh, that's not good.
I actually think 2 of my opponents having a Soul Ring in turn 1 is better than if only one of them did. Because that way they can be a foil to each other, and that'll give Jimmy and I, hopefully, some time to catch up.
And then I will pass turn.
All right, I will untap and draw. I'm gonna play a Plains, and then I will tap 2, and I will play a Relic Seeker.
Oh no.
Josh's deck is all about equipment. If he can search up his best one on turn 3, that's really powerful. Because it's so early in the game, a lot of us probably aren't gonna have blockers, so this card looks even better on Josh's board.
All right, that's all I'm gonna do. Carolyn, go ahead.
Untap, then I will draw my card for turn. I will play Sandstep Citadel, enters tapped.
Okay.
Then I will play Nimble Trap Finder.
Oh, that's cool.
My thinking is that it's gonna be really difficult to assemble a full party, but this is the first piece and it's fallen right into place, so the gods are smiling on me for now.
So this creature has the new party mechanic, which sounds like it's actually gonna be pretty hard to do. I don't know how she's gonna be able to get all the party members on board anytime soon, so it's not really a threat to me.
And then I will pass the turn.
Okay. At the end of your turn, I'm going to crack my Terramorphic Expanse, finding a mountain that comes on the battlefield tapped. All right, I will untap and draw my card for turn. I will play a forest, and then I will cast a Gruul Signet.
Okay.
I really wish I could have just played a creature here so Josh can't just swing at me for free, but everyone else is ramping around the board. I have to catch up so I can make bigger plays later in the game. And I'll pass turn to you, D.
Okay, I will untap and draw, land for turn, and then I will play Yahenni, Undying Partisan. Ooh. My favorite vampires. This card's great because not only is it a vampire that fits really well in my deck, but it's also a sack outlet, and it gets counters every time an opponent's creatures die, and hopefully that's gonna be happening a lot this game. You know, I don't like your little rogue you got there.
What?
And I'm gonna swing at you, Carolyn, with my Yahenni.
He's a little guy that I like, so I'll take the damage. I'll
Okay.
take 2, and I'll go to 36.
I figured you would. Okay, and then I will pass turn.
Okay. I will untap. I will draw. All right, I'm gonna play an Ancient Tomb.
Oh.
So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. I drew Ancient Tomb this turn, and it's the perfect draw because I have something really powerful I can do that costs exactly 4 mana. I'm gonna tap the Ancient Tomb. I'll take 2, going to 37. And I'm gonna play Sword of the Animist.
Ah, okay.
Oof.
This is a super powerful play. Josh doesn't have the same kind of ramp that other decks have access to, and Josh is an equipment deck, so this is a perfect combination.
And then I'm going to equip the Sword of the Animist to the Relic Seeker. So it's now a 3/3.
All right.
And then I will go to combat, and Jimmy, I'm gonna swing at you for 3.
Okay.
All right, so on attack, the Sword of the Animist will trigger, and I will search my library for a Plains, and I'll put it in play tapped. And then go to blocks.
Okay, I can't block, so I'll take 3 damage.
Correct.
All right, I go to 37.
Okay, so on damage, the Relic Seeker will become renowned. So it gets a +1/+1 counter and is now a 4/4.
Yikes.
And more importantly, I get to search my library for an equipment. And I'm gonna go find Sword of Feast and Famine. And I'm gonna put that into my hand.
Oof, get out of here.
And then I will pass the turn.
Yikes.
So at the end of this turn, I am feeling absolutely great about my start. I'm already ramping. I'm gonna do it again next turn. I'm gonna put the Sword of Feast and Famine out. I'm gonna untap my lands and get to use them twice. When building the deck, this is the kind of start that you dream about.
Okay, first I will untap, then I will draw my card for the turn. Alrighty, so now I have enough mana to play my commander.
You do.
And
Oh, because it's one less?
yeah, I cast Tazri, Beacon of Unity.
Let's get this party started, shall we?
That's where all the trumpeters
Yeah, yeah.
I get it. Okay.
I really wanted to play this commander to fully assemble a party, and then I could find these rogues, warrior, clerics, and wizards. I'm hoping to kill someone with the greatest party ever known.
So Carolyn's commander is here. The new Tazri seems just okay to me. That ability is quite a lot to activate. Maximum can only get you 2 cards, and it's possible that you can whiff. So I don't know. We'll see what Carolyn's able to do with it, but I'm not super impressed, honestly.
So, now Nimble Trapfinder is unblockable because the warrior entered, but that doesn't matter because there's no blockers on the table.
Correct.
And I'm feeling petty, so Nimble Trapfinder is gonna come at D for 2.
That's fine. That's fine. I deserve it. I go down to 38.
Then I'll play my land for turn and pass.
Nice. All right, I will untap and I'll draw my card for turn. All right, I will tap 3 mana and I'll cast Kodama's Reach. And I'll put a forest into the battlefield tapped and a mountain into my hand.
Classic move.
Yeah.
My commander really incentivizes me to hold certain cards in my hand until it's on the battlefield, so I just need to focus on ramping as fast as I can, even if that leaves me open to attacks right now. And then I will play my land for turn, and that is a Myriad Landscape, and I'll pass to you, D.
All right, at the end of your turn, just because it's on theme, I'm gonna tap 1 and I'm gonna play Vampiric Tutor.
Nice.
No, only because it's on theme.
That's the only reason, guys.
Not because it's a good card.
So I'll lose 2 life, and then I'll find this 1 card that I don't have to reveal to you guys, and then I'll go right on top of my deck.
Nice.
And then I'll take my turn.
Okay.
Untap, draw. So then I'm going to play a land for turn. And you know what? You have your commander. I kind of want to see my commander too. So
nice.
I'm gonna play Drana, the Last Blood Chief.
Yikes!
I'm really excited to get Drana out. I don't have anything in the graveyard to get back, but I'd rather have her out now so that when I do have something in the graveyard, she doesn't have summoning sickness and can attack. All right, I'm gonna swing at you, Jimmy, with Yeheni.
I accept, I'll take 2 damage. I'll go to 35.
And then I will pass turn.
Okay. I will untap and I will draw. So this is perfect. The entire rotation of the table happened and nobody touched my board. And looking around, they're all basically tapped out. So hold on to something. I think this is gonna be a really big turn. Okay, I'm going to begin by playing the Sword of Feast and Famine.
Ooh, that's bad.
Oh no.
And I had to tap the Ancient Tomb to do that, so I'll go to 35.
This sword is the scariest thing on the table by far because it gives it protection from black and green. So it protects against all of Dee's deck, half of my deck, almost half of Carolyn's deck. Not to mention, Josh is putting more and more lands into play every turn with Sword of the Animist and is gonna be able to untap them. We're not gonna be able to deal with any creature it gets attached to, so we have to do something about this.
And then I will pay the 2 and equip it to the Relic Seeker. So Relic Seeker's now a 6/6, protection from black and green.
Yikes.
Okay.
Oh my.
I hit Jimmy last time.
Yeah, swing a D, make him discard a card.
No, oh gosh, that's bad.
Yeah, swing at me, go ahead.
That'd
be great.
Yeah, because then he gets whatever.
Normally, Sword of Feast and Famine would be really, really bad for me because of protection from black, but with my commander, I actually do want to discard cards in my graveyard, which incentivizes Josh not to attack me, so it's not really a threat to me.
Yeah, I don't want D discarding a card, so I'm gonna go to combat, and Carolyn, I'm gonna swing at you with my 6/6 Relic Seeker. On attack, Sword of Animus is gonna trigger. I'm gonna search my library for planes and put it into the battlefield tapped. And then we'll go to blocks.
Okay. As much as I may regret this, I'm not going to block.
All right.
Ow! All right, I'll go down to 30.
But my Relic Seeker is already renowned, so it can't become renowned again. So Sword of Feast and Famine will trigger. I will untap all my lands.
And then you will unfortunately have to discard a card, I'm sorry.
Oh, geez. Okay, I'm gonna discard Seaside Citadel.
All right, then I am going to tap the Ancient Tomb again, go to 33, and play Thought Vessel.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna tap 3, and I'll play Crucible of Worlds.
Wow! So that fetch land I played on turn 1, this is why it's very important. With this Crucible of Worlds out, I'm gonna be able to play it every single turn out of my graveyard and make sure that I just hit my land drop for the rest of the game. This is a good way to get card advantage, and it's something I really need in red and white.
And then using the Crucible of Worlds, I'm gonna play the Scalding Tarn out of my graveyard. I'm gonna immediately crack it, so I'll go to 32, and I will find a Plateau.
Okay, not bad.
And that'll come into the battlefield. And then I'm going to tap 3 and play my commander, Akiri, Fearless Voyager.
Yikes! So my commander is here. I actually had a choice earlier in the turn of whether to play Akiri out first, then attack with my Relic Seeker to draw the card immediately, but I felt it was better to untap the lands and then play her. It's okay. I got 2 equipment on the battlefield, so starting next turn, I'm gonna start drawing 2 additional cards every rotation, so I'm not gonna be hurting for cards. And whoever thought the Boros player would be saying that?
Josh is really off to the races here. He's already swung twice with creatures with equipment on it. There's no doubt that he's gonna do this next turn and start drawing some cards and then reloading his hand. I hope we can stop it.
And then I will pass the turn.
That's all you're gonna do, Josh?
That's it?
No
You're
more
good?
cards?
You're good?
Okay.
I will. Untap, draw. Okay. I really want to see my commander's ability go off, so I'll activate Tazri's ability.
Oh, here we go.
Then look at the top 6. I really wanted to play this commander to activate this ability, and then I can find these amazing cards that I have in my deck. So hopefully I'll get something good. Ooh, okay, so there was only 1, was hoping for 2, but that didn't happen. So here's the 1. Reese the Redeemed.
Not bad.
I'll still take it.
It's a pretty good 1-drop though.
Okay, I only got 1 card. I should have gotten 2, and I can't even cast it. This is not good. I feel scared. And the rest go on the bottom of my library in a random order.
Okay.
And then I'll play a Stonework Pack Beast.
Oh, this is interesting. Carolyn now has 3 of her 4 party members because the Stonework Pack Beast can count for 1 of any of them. Assembling the party might actually be a little easier than I thought it was gonna be. Party on.
All right, move to combat. Josh, I'm gonna attack you with Tazri because you clearly deserve it. And Jimmy's gonna be attacked by the Nimble Trap Finder.
Well, I obviously can't block, so I'll take another 2 damage and I will go to 33 life. Ouch.
All right, and I'm gonna choose not to block, and I will take 4. And that is commander damage, and go to 28.
Then I will pass the turn.
Okay, I'm gonna untap, I'll draw my card for turn. I will play a mountain, and then I gotta get my commander out on the table. I'm gonna tap 6 mana and cast Phylath, World Sculptor.
Ugh, yikes-a-roni.
And when he enters the battlefield, I create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each basic land I control, and that would be 4. So I get 4 plants.
It's almost like Avenger of Zendikar.
Almost, yeah. This is great. Getting my commander out on turn 4 as early as possible is so important because now I have these plant tokens and I can start dumping lands, ramping, and getting as many landfall triggers as possible to make these things huge, and then I can smash my opponents.
So Jimmy's commander is pretty scary, but currently he's got to be able to play more lands. I know he has the ability because he has a mirrored landscape, but I think it's going to be another turn or 2 before he really starts going off. Josh is definitely still the #1 priority.
All right, that's gonna do it for me, so I'll pass turn to you, D.
Okay, I will untap, I'll draw. All right, I'm gonna tap 3 and I'm going to play Phyrexian Altar.
Yep.
Ooh, good start.
That's always a bad way to start things. Nothing ever comes good after that happens.
So I'm playing this altar pre-combat because I need to do as much damage to Josh as possible, and I'm hoping it makes him think that I have some combat tricks, which I really don't. I just need to do damage to him. And then I'm really scared of you, Josh, so I'm gonna attack you with both Yuheni and Drana.
Okay.
I don't have anything in my graveyard, so Drana does not trigger, unfortunately. Okay.
I mean, I'm at 28. Are you gonna sack Drana? You'd have to, I guess, otherwise you just lose Yanni. It feels like there's trickiness going on. Okay, fine, I'm not gonna block.
Ooh.
You take 6.
All right, I go to 22.
and 4 of that from Drana is commander damage.
Yes, sir.
So one thing I'm a little bit worried about is my life total is already getting pretty low. But what am I supposed to do? Not use my Ancient Tomb twice every turn and not crack my fetch land? Hopefully I can just knock everybody out before that stuff eventually comes back to bite me, I guess.
And then I'm gonna play Nighthawk Scavenger, which is basically a better Vampire Nighthawk.
Ooh. I only have a land in my graveyard right now. What do you guys have?
I have a land.
I have a land and a sorcery, so that's 2 card types total.
So it's a 3/3.
Wow. This is a new card from Zendikar Rising, and look at all the abilities on this thing. And it's just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger as the game goes on. This could swing a life total by a huge amount. I'm impressed.
And then I'm gonna pass the turn.
Okay.
Oh no.
I will untap and I will draw. Okay, I'm going to pay 2 and slide my Sword of Feast and Famine over to my Akiri.
So that's a 5/5 pro black green.
Correct.
Cool.
I don't think that's cool at all, but go ahead.
It's not cool, I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to tap 4 using the Ancient Tomb, so I'll go to 20. Oof. And I'm gonna play Felidar Retreat.
Ooh.
So this is a new card from Zendikar Rising, and the fact that I have a fetch land in the graveyard plus Crucible of Worlds plus Sword of the Animus means on board I have a way to hit landfall 3 times every single turn. That's 3 2/2 cats, 3 1/1 counters on all my creatures or some combination thereof. This is gonna get nuts really fast. So I'm going to then play the Scalding Tarn out of my graveyard using the Crucible of Worlds.
That's bad.
Trigger Felidar Retreat. I'm gonna choose a second option. So I'm gonna give a +1/+1 counter to each of my creatures and they get Vigilance. So Akiri's now a 6/6 and Relic Seeker goes to a 5/5.
That's not good. That's not good. Right now, I'm thinking that this game is gonna be over pretty quick unless we can do something very bold and heroic. Really, anything we can do to take Josh down a peg, we got to do.
Then I'm going to crack the Scalding Tarn, going down to 19, and I will go find a mountain, put that into play, untapped. Landfall trigger, Felidar Retreat. And this time I'll make the 2/2 Cat Beast,
Maria.
and that will come into play. And then I'm going to tap 2, and I'll play a Mind Stone. And then I'll tap 2, and I'll play a SRAM, Senior Edificer.
Oh.
SRAM.
So I'm dumping everything I can onto the board right now because I'm about to draw some cards and Sword of Feast and Famine is gonna untap all my lands. SRAM in particular is perfect because with all the mana that I have access to, I just need more cards in my hand. I am now a snowball that is rolling very quickly downhill. Everybody better get out the way. All right, then I'll go to combat, and I have to swing at 2 players because of Akiri, and I'm going to swing Akiri at D and Relic Seeker at Jimmy.
Okay.
On attacks, Sword of the Animus will trigger. I will go find a Plains and put that into the battlefield tapped. And that will also trigger Felidar Retreat, so I'll make a second cat token.
You're just rude now.
And Akiri, I draw for each player I'm attacking with an equipped creature, which is 2, so I'll draw 2.
Gross.
Yeah, very gross.
This is an insane turn. So much stuff is coming out on the board right now. There's landfall, there's cats. It's just terrifying.
And then we'll go to blocks.
I will block with a 0/1 plant.
I can't block, so I will take 6, going down to 30.
Okay, so the plant dies. And then on damage, D, you have to discard a card.
Oh no.
I did help him out.
It actually didn't help me out that much. I'll discard a Cabal Coffers.
Cabal Coffers?
Something else must be nuts in that hand.
How many cards do you have in your hand?
1 card.
Oh.
What's that card?
You don't want to know.
So I get to discard a Cabal Coffers, which always feels bad. And now Josh knows that I have no big creatures in my hand because if I did, I would have discarded it. It's just feel bads all around.
Okay, and then I will also untap all my lands.
Yikes!
All right, and then I'm gonna pay 2, and I'm gonna play Goblin Engineer,
Come on.
and I will find Sun Forger, and put that into my graveyard.
Oh no.
My battlefield is full. I've cast basically every card out of my hand, which makes me vulnerable. If a mass removal spell comes along, I'm gonna be in really big trouble. But the Sun Forger, if I can get it onto the battlefield next turn with the Engineer, means that I'll have access to all the protection and all the answers in my deck. The only major worry I have is my life total, which is super low. And D has flying creatures. I have nothing that can block that. And they're big enough that I could be dead in a couple of turns. So I'm in a kill or be killed situation. And that's all I can do, so I will pass the turn.
Yikes. I'm gonna do what I can do, which is untap, draw a card for turn. Okay. I don't usually go in for player collusion, but this is a massive threat. You guys want to kill Josh?
Let's
party.
do it.
Yay,
Let's
party on.
All right, cool.
We're agreed on that.
We're playing arch enemy.
This is good. We have 2 brand new players at the table, but they all know what the real threat is, and it's not me for once. So I'm glad we're banding together. We're really forming a party. Josh's life total is already pretty low. We might be able to just knock him out of the game.
So at this point, if we don't all work together, then Josh is gonna run away with the game. Currently, I'm the only person who can actually deal damage because I have flyers, so everyone wants me on their team, and I'm happy to accept because this Sword of Feast of Famine hurts, and I can't keep discarding cards.
So I'm gonna play land for turn, Godless Shrine.
Okay.
I'll take 2 from that. I'll go to 28.
Okay.
Then I shall play Cultivate.
Okay.
I'll find a forest and put it into play tapped. And a swamp, which I reveal and put into my hand.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna cast Reese the Redeemed. And because he's a warrior, he will trigger the Nimble Trap Finder.
Oh, nice.
It doesn't matter how impressive Josh's board looks if he's dead. So I'm gonna do my part and ping him for some damage while I can. And then I will swing at Josh because he needs to die.
It's hard to argue with it. So it's unblockable?
It's unblockable.
Okay, well then in that case, I will not block it. I will take 2, and I will go to 17.
Woo! And then I'll pass the turn.
We'll untap and draw for turn.
Tell me you got something, Jimmy. Please.
Gonna have a bunch of big plant tokens, for sure that.
I'm gonna start things off by playing a Gate Creeper Vine.
Sweet.
I'm gonna find a forest and put it into my hand. I will then play the forest,
Uh-oh.
and I will get a landfall trigger off of Phylath World Sculptor. That will put 4+1/+1 counters on a plant I control. Whew. And then I will cast Farseek.
He was holding all the land cards till the commander came out. Makes sense?
I will find a mountain and put that onto the battlefield tapped. That will also trigger my commander again. I'll put another 4+1/+1 counters on another plant.
You got 2 4/5s?
Got 2 4/5s and the 5/5, yay. And then that is gonna do it for me, I'll pass turn.
Wow.
Look, in my hand, I don't even actually have a way to deal with what's going on Josh's board right now. But the nice thing is, I can just keep developing things out, make my creatures bigger, and if they do get rid of Josh, that means I might be left in the prime position.
So I'm looking at Jimmy's board and I'm realizing that by the time we take out Josh, Jimmy's gonna be so far ahead that I don't think we're gonna be able to win. But we made a deal, I'm part of the party and Josh has to go down. All right, I'm gonna untap all these lands and let's draw a card. All right. So this is the card that originally Vampiric tutored for. So I'm gonna play Liliana Dreadhorde General.
Oh, very powerful.
One of my absolute favorites.
I really hope he doesn't activate that ability that makes us sacrifice creatures, because that's gonna be really bad for me. I'm already struggling to assemble this party. I have very little that I wanna lose right now.
So I originally got this card to wipe out Josh's board. Because of the token generation that Josh has, it's really not gonna affect his board as much. It's really gonna hurt my current party members more than it is Josh. So feels bad, but I'm gonna +1 her. Then I'm gonna activate her +1 ability and create a 2/2 black zombie creature token.
Oh, a +1?
It's a really interesting decision because he also doesn't have that many cards in his hand, so here's hoping that he can at least refill a little bit with the sacrifice fodder. He can still draw cards off Liliana and not hurt his allies. It's a little unorthodox, but I think it's the right play.
Okay, I'm gonna start by sacking Yahenni to Phyrexian Altar. And because of that, I draw a card off of Liliana. I have 1 floating. And then I'm also gonna just sack the zombie token to Phyrexian Altar. Drawing another card.
Ooh, nice.
1 more black floating. Play a land for turn.
So as far as Liliana hitting the battlefield and having any effect on the game, this is pretty minor. D draws a couple cards, sacrifices a couple of his own creatures. He has to know I'm gonna kill it with Sword of Feast and Famine on my next turn, so this could have gone way worse.
I'm gonna swing at you, Josh, with Drana and Nighthawk Scavenger. So Drana's ability would normally be able to make me get a creature back from my graveyard, but the creature is currently a legendary creature, so.
Oh, it's only non-legendary. Okay, 8 damage. Well, I have no flyers, so I am forced to take 8. And I will go to 9.
And then I gain 4, going up to 34.
Okay, I'm at 9. That basically has me dead to Carolyn's unblockable creature and D's 2 flyers. That's okay, because as soon as I get that Sunforge onto the battlefield, I'll be able to protect myself. I mean, I'll be able to Teferi's protect myself, if you know what I'm saying.
So there's one way that I know Josh will take care of my flyers, and that's the Sun Forger. So I gotta get rid of this Goblin Engineer. Luckily, I drew the perfect card off Liliana. And then before the end of my turn, I'm going to tap one. I'm gonna play Tragic Slip,
Nice.
targeting your Goblin Engineer.
Uh-oh, we have Morbid because all those creatures got sacked.
Josh, does he have a card in his hand to protect it?
That is
I'm interested.
unfortunate. No, I got nothing.
Yay!
All right, Goblin Engineer down. Come on.
Party! Level up!
We're
Yeah,
doing
we
it.
get some XP!
Yay.
Welcome back to Who Wants a Million Mana? Josh has made his way to the final question. If he gets it correct, he'll win 1 million mana. Josh, how are you feeling?
I'm excited, Jimmy. A little nervous, but I think I can do this.
Okay, here's the question. Will you pay 1 for Ristic Study? Yes, of course. I'd be stupid not to, or no.
Whew, wow. I think I'm gonna use a lifeline, Jimmy.
All right, which one do you want to use?
I'm gonna drink some G Fuel. I think I really need that boost of endurance, energy, and focus right now.
Bold move. But what flavor? There are so many delicious options to choose from. Remember, you can also get a starter kit that comes with a shaker cup and a variety of samples to test out.
I'm going with sour cherry, Jimmy. I've had it before. It's really, really good, and it's got 0 sugar.
Good choice. If anyone in the audience wants to try it out for themselves, go to gfuel.com and use the promo code COMMANDZONE, all one word, at checkout between now and September 25th, and you'll get 30% off of your order.
And don't worry, even if you're after that time period, you can still use the code COMMANDZONE and get 10% off.
Okay, Josh, time to decide. What's your answer to will you pay the 1?
Oh gosh, Jimmy. I'm gonna go with no. Final answer.
I'm sorry, but that's incorrect.
So I don't get 1 million mana?
No, you lose the game. Sorry. Come on, that was an easy one. You always pay the 1 for Ristic Study.
Oh, hello there. I am the Orcish Librarian. Apologies, as you can see, you've caught me just in the middle of my lunch break. Honestly, I'm surprised you're here. We don't get many visitors these days. I mean, I understand. Why would anyone come to the library when they can just use Audible, the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks? They have anything and everything you're looking for. Not just books, but podcasts, guided wellness programs, theatrical performances, A-list comedies, and exclusive Audible originals that you can't find anywhere else. I'm not joking. They have more titles than the Library of Lang, Library of Alexandria, Library of Latnam, Sylvan Library, and Animate Library all combined. I'm currently listening to Rising Strong from Brene Brown. It's very, very inspiring. This is all to say that I highly recommend you try Audible out for yourself. And it's super easy. Just go to audible.com/nights, that's night with a K, or text the word nights to 500-500 and you can start listening right away. That's audible.com/nights or text nights to 500-500. So now you can do what I do. Listen to books while you eat them.
And then before the end of my turn, I'm going to tap one. I'm going to play Tragic Slip,
Nice.
targeting your Goblin Engineer.
Uh-oh. Oh, well, that's no good.
Wow, this is huge because Josh no longer has access to that Sun Forger. He's at 9 life, Carolyn has that little unblockable 2/1, and D has flyers in the air. If Josh can't find an answer this turn, he might just be done.
And then I pass turn.
Okay.
That was a pretty good turn, D.
Yeah.
You did the party proud.
Wow, this is really bad. I was counting on getting that Sunforger into play to save me. My deck has a lot of moving pieces. I didn't have a lot of slots available for removal, so I'm gonna have to get lucky this turn and draw some, or I might just be dead to what's on board. All right, I will untap.
On your upkeep, I'm going to Assassin's Trophy, targeting
Yes.
the Sword of Feast and Famine.
Wow.
That's too nasty to live.
Come on. The fact of the matter is that I have to draw an answer to some of the creatures I can't block right now. And the fact that the sword was an equipment that allows me to draw an additional card with Akiri, that's the part of it that really hurts right now. Because that's gonna be one less card I'm gonna draw, which is one less chance to find an answer to the lethal damage on board. Okay, so Sword of Feast and Famine will get destroyed, but I do get to search for a land card. So I'll go find a Plains, and I'll put that into the battlefield, untapped. That will trigger the Felidar Retreat, and I'm gonna choose the second option, so I'm gonna put a 1/1 counter on each creature I control.
And they all get vigilance until end of turn. And then that was all my upkeep, so I will draw my card for turn. Okay, I'm gonna start by tapping 2, and I'm gonna play Dowsing Dagger.
More equipment.
That's an equipment. So there's 2 triggers here. SRAM, I'll draw a card, and then I gotta give 2 plant tokens to somebody. Giving to the Lily player seems bad. Giving to Mr. Plant seems bad.
I'll
Carolyn,
take them.
yeah, you get 2 plant tokens.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, and then I'm going to pay 2 and attach the Dowsing Dagger to Akiri.
Okay.
So she's now a 7/6. And then using the Crucible of Worlds, I'll play the Scalding Tarn out of my graveyard again. Then I'll immediately crack it. I'll find a mountain. So that's 2 lands that enter the battlefield. And I'll pay the life and I'll go to 8. Felidar Retreat will trigger twice. And I'll choose the +1/+1 counter for both options, so everything gets +2/+2.
Ugh, it's like about 30 damage right now on board.
Okay, then I will go to combat.
So I'd love to send some damage at Jimmy here because I think he's the most threatening player. But with that Myriad Landscape, he can crack it, put 2 lands into play, trigger his commander, put 8 more power onto any of his creatures, in which case he'll just eat anything I send at him, so I can't do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna swing Akiri and a cat at you, Carolyn, and then Relic Seeker at UD, cat and SRAM at Liliana. On attack, I've got 3 triggers. Sword of the Animist will find a plains. That will come into play. Felidar Retreat will trigger again, so all my creatures are actually +1/+1 what they were before.
I'm not even worried here about the amount of damage I'm dealing or anything like that. I'm really just worried, do I draw something that kills a flyer?
And then Akiri will trigger for the 2 creatures that are equipped, attacking different players, so I'll draw 2 cards.
So I draw my cards, 1, 2, and nothing. Nothing that saves me. No removal spell.
All right, go to blocks.
I will block with the plants you gave me from the Dowsing Dagger.
Yep, makes sense, 2 dead plants.
All right.
Then yeah, I take it. I can't do anything about it.
Okay, so Lily dies. And Relic Seeker hits you for 9.
I take 9, I go to 25.
Okay, I guess we're in desperation mode. I'm going to pay 1 and sacrifice my Mind Stone to draw a card.
I'm sweating over here. Look, if Josh had an answer to deal with these flyers, he probably would have already done it, which means he is top decking. And he is a legend at doing that, so fingers crossed he doesn't find the answer this time.
And I will draw my card.
Well, that doesn't save me.
Oh, thank God.
All right, well then I'm gonna pay 2 and I'll play Loyal Apprentice. Doesn't make any flyers now though.
The ironic thing here is that if I had drawn the Loyal Apprentice before combat, it would have created a flyer which I could then use to block one of these creatures and maybe survive. But I drew it after combat. I'm gonna die to what's already on the board.
Okay, so I have no flyers, I'm at 8. Yeah, okay, that's all I can do, so I will pass the turn.
Okay, well, Josh is leaving mana conspicuously open right now, and he has a grip full of cards. I mean, I don't know if he has an answer, but there's only one way to find out, I guess.
All right, I'll untap, draw, card for turn. Okay, I want to hopefully find a wizard or a cleric, so I'm gonna activate Tazri again.
Oh, okay.
I reveal Benevolent Bodyguard, which will go into my hand, but I'm gonna cast it, giving me a complete party.
Nice.
Oh, you have the whole on party.
That also turns on my Nimble Trap Finder. Playing the Benevolent Bodyguard makes Trap Finder unblockable, and also I'm going to be able to draw a bunch of cards.
That's cool.
Yeah, hooray! My beautiful party is assembled. Now my Nimble Trap Finder is online. I can start drawing cards, which is really gonna help me because I feel like I've been off to a little bit of a slow start and I need all the momentum I can get, so let's go. So I'm going to attack Jimmy with the Trap Finder.
Okay.
Then I'm going to attack D with Tazri, the Stonework Pack Beast, and Reese.
Wow.
Oh,
The whole party is partying.
well, I don't have anything to block, so I begrudgingly take 7. And I'll go to 18. So it kind of seems at this point that Jimmy and Carolyn are 100% relying on me to take out Josh. Which I think is a little unfair because if they miscalculate this and Josh has an answer and lives, we're all dead. So I'm really hoping that they get their act together and help me out here.
It seems like Josh is pretty much dead. Hopefully D's flyers can finish him off next time. So I'm gonna turn my attention to these guys, my party members. Sorry.
I can't block, so I'm gonna take 2 damage here. You're going to 31 life.
And all 4 of those trigger my Nimble Trap Finder, making me draw 4 cards.
Wow. Value.
You have 4 mana left.
I do have 4 mana, but I'm going to only use 2 of it to play Shovel, Bane of Monsters.
It's not personal, it's just business.
Oh, nice.
I'm happy to have Shovel out because Jimmy's looking like a big threat with big monsters. So having something with Death Touch, I'm totally fine with. Hopefully this will encourage Jimmy to attack somebody else and not me. Then I will pass the turn.
Okay, at the end of your turn, I'm going to tap 2 and sacrifice my Myriad Landscape. And I'll find 2 forests, and those will enter the battlefield tapped. That means my commander will trigger twice on the landfall trigger. So I get to put 4 +1/+1 counters on plants 2 times. I'm gonna just load the box, stick it on this guy.
That's a lot of power.
Yeah, there's a lot of power. I feel powerful. And then I'll untap and I'll draw for turn. Okay, I'll tap 4 mana and I'll cast Greater Good.
Ruh-roh.
Oh no.
This might be the best card in my deck, and there's no better timing to play this. The way I see it, D almost has to eliminate Josh next turn, because if he doesn't, we're all gonna lose to him. But that means I'm gonna be able to draw a ton of cards, and not only that, set myself up to be the best board position.
Okay, so I have to kill Josh, and now I gotta worry about Jimmy, who's got 1,000 power on the board, and now he just played Greater Good. I'm playing black too, so I have no way of dealing with this. Even if I kill his creatures, he's just gonna sack them and draw a billion cards. This is not looking good.
Okay, I'm gonna go to combat. Carolyn, I will swing my commander, a 8/9, as well as a 4/5 at you.
Oh geez. I'll block Phylath with Shovel, and I'll block the bigger plant with the Bodyguard.
Okay.
Before damage, I will sack the Bodyguard to give Shovel protection from green.
Uh-oh. Okay, I admit I just completely forgot that Shovel has Death Touch, which means if it's blocking my commander's gonna go bye-bye. So I guess good thing I cast that Greater Good before combat. I can at least get some value out of it before it dies to the Death Touch. Okay, well, considering you did that, I will then tap 3 mana, and I'm going to play Roiling Regrowth. So sacrifice a forest. I'm gonna find 2 forests and put them onto the battlefield tapped. That's going to give me 2 more landfall triggers. So I'm gonna target this plant and that plant with the 4 +1/+1 counters. So this will go up to an 8/9, and so will this one. And then before damage is assigned, I'm going to sacrifice my commander to the Greater Good to draw 5 cards, and then I'll discard 3. Ugh. So I will discard a Nissa, Voice of Zendikar, Bloom Hulk, and a Soul Ring.
Wow.
And still in combat. Okay, so now damage.
Yeah. I'll take 8 and go down to 20.
Okay. And then in my second main phase, I will play a Colony Garden, which gives me another plant.
Oh, all right.
And then I will pass turn to you, D. Even though I have a ton of power on the board and an insane draw engine, I'm a little upset. My commander's dead, and Carolyn just has chump blockers for days. Not to mention D has lifelink. I think it's actually gonna be a lot harder to close out the game than I originally thought.
All right, I'll untap, I'll draw. All right, then I will move to combat. So now's the moment of truth, but unfortunately, I gotta swing both my flyers at Josh in order to kill him, which is sad because my Nighthawk would get him down to 1, and it kind of seems like a waste of damage. I'd really like to send it over Jimmy because he's kind of getting out of control. So I'm 1 off from being able to kill you with just my Nighthawk.
Oh, it's a 7 power creature?
Yeah, it's 7.
So you have to swing both creatures at me?
Yeah, I only have 2, so I'd have to swing Drana at you, and I really don't want to.
Let me ask you this. If you don't have to swing Drana at me, who are you gonna hit with it?
Who do you think I'm gonna hit it with?
Wow, jeez.
How much power? Wait, how much power do you have on the board right now?
24, it's not a big deal.
Okay, I will tap my Ancient Tomb.
What?
Wow. And I will go down to 6. Carry on.
What?
This is that part in the movie where the bad guy actually turns out to be the good guy.
I wish I had something. I wish I was fooling everyone and I had a trick up my sleeve and I was gonna win here, but no. I'm just absolutely dead to these flyers. And if on the way out I can do anything to hurt Jimmy a little bit in any way, well, I'm gonna do it.
All right, if that's how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna swing at you, Josh, with Nighthawk Scavenger, and then I'm gonna swing at you, Jimmy, with Drana.
Okay, yeah, I got no flyers and nothing that can save me, so I will take 7, and I will go to -1 and die. And then, despite having an insane start, getting all my engines going, I die to fly. Ah!
So I still don't have any non-legendary creatures in my graveyard, so I can't get anyone back from Drana's ability.
Sadness, that's twice now.
All right, well, I don't have any flyers as well, so I'll take 4 and go to 27. And you're gonna gain some life, right?
I gain 7 from Nighthawk. And I go to 25. Yes, finally. The one goal that we've all been working towards, to kill Josh, is finally complete. Now I gotta focus on Jimmy, who is rapidly becoming scarier than Josh was. Okay, so with the remainder of my turn, I am going to cast Null Priest of Oblivion. And I will pay her kicker cost, which means I will be able to bring Yahenni back from the graveyard onto the battlefield.
All right, that's actually a pretty good card.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yahenni's back. That's not great. There's still way too many sack outlets on the board for me to feel comfortable. So now I've really got to start looking at D because this deck is heating up.
Okay, I am going to then play Reanimate,
Oh.
targeting the Benevolent Bodyguard in Carolyn's graveyard. And I'll take 1, since it's a 1 CMC card, going to 24.
Interesting.
So this Bodyguard's not the best target, but there wasn't a lot to choose from. I'm just trying to get some sort of board presence and not lose too much life doing it. And then I'll pass turn.
Are you out of cards? Row.
D is out of cards in his hand, and looking at his board, I'm really not that scared of anything on there. So that means I can probably focus on Carolyn a little bit more here and not worry so much about his board state.
I will untap. On my upkeep, Shovo will trigger. I will put a bounty counter on the Benevolent Bodyguard.
Every job has a price.
Oh, all right.
And then draw for turn. Okay.
You know who the real enemy is, right? This ain't nothing.
Oh, I'm aware. Jimmy's got a target on his back and a timer on the board. This greater good is a huge threat. We need to take care of it ASAP. I think first things first, I'm going to play War Priest of Thune, targeting greater good. Because that's nasty.
Yeah, it is nasty.
Yep, that is the correct target. Oh, this puts me in a really sticky spot. I was hoping to be able to just draw cards when I wanted to, but now I'm forced to make a decision here. Do I just keep drawing now or let it go to waste? In response, I am going to sacrifice one of the plant tokens to the greater good. So I'm gonna draw 8 cards and then I will discard these 3 lands into my graveyard.
When that plant dies, Yahenni gets a +1/+1 counter.
Nice.
It's still on the
It's still on
stack.
the stack.
I'm deciding if I want to draw another 8 cards or not.
I mean, that seems like an obvious answer.
Yes?
I mean, jeez, who says no to that?
Yeah, I can't. The value is too good. Okay, I'm gonna sacrifice another plant and draw 8 cards.
Whoa.
Okay, I will discard 3 cards, Gruul Turf, Wooded Foothills, and a Jadi Offshoot.
Yahenni gets another +1/+1 counter, baby.
Worth it, Tony.
Worth it. And I guess that's gonna be it. So goodbye, greater good.
Yes. I feel really good about this. I'm glad Carolyn had an answer to greater good. Jimmy does sacrifice some huge creatures to draw a bunch of cards, but he's gonna have 0 board presence. So I think this all works in my favor. I'm actually pretty happy about what's going on.
Okay. I'm going to activate Tazri again. I'm gonna reveal Alicia, who smiles at death, and the Archpriest of Iona. Now we're cooking. This is the first time that I got 2 cards off this ability, and they're pretty good cards. We've got Alesha, which, cool card, not worth a lot because I don't have anything in my graveyard right now. But Archpriest of Iona cares about my party and is a great way to sneak in some extra damage. Unfortunately, it doesn't give the creature flying when it's not my combat phase, but oh well, I'll get in that extra damage. I'm going to play Archpriest of Iona, and I'll also cast Alicia, who smiles at death.
Very nice.
Okay, so Nimble Trapfinder is now unblockable. I'll go to combat, Archpriest of Iona will trigger, so I will give Tazri +1/+1 and flying until end of turn. Jimmy has so much card advantage, there's no way I'm ever going to overcome that, so my strategy is kill him before he can deploy that card advantage. I'm gonna swing with Nimble Trapfinder and Tazri at Jimmy.
Okay, well, 2 is unblockable and 5 is in the air, so I just have to take 7, and I'll go to 20 life.
And because of Nimble Trapfinder, I will draw 2 cards.
Good value. An 8/9 on the ground looks way worse when it can't block creatures with flying. And that's what Carolyn and Dee both have access to now. My life total is healthy, but if they ganged up like they did on Josh, they might be able to take me out.
And then, I will pass the turn.
Okay, I'm going to untap all of my cards and I will draw for turn. Okay, I'm going to tap 5 mana and cast Xenagos, God of Revels.
Oh, scary.
That's not good.
Xenagos is pretty good, especially with an 8/9 creature on the battlefield, but it still doesn't have trample, and I need to find a way to get damage through to my opponents. Luckily, I have something in my hand just for that. And then I'm going to tap 3 mana and cast a Mage Slayer.
Yikes.
Oh, that can just kill somebody.
That's
almost.
not good. I was feeling good about my life total, but with Xenagos and the Mage Slayer out, I'm feeling scared and afraid now. That is a ton of damage.
I'm gonna tap 3 mana, I'm gonna equip my plant with the Mage Slayer.
Oh no.
I will go to combat.
This sword plus Xenagos and a huge creature means that Jimmy's gonna be able to swing right now and do a ton of damage. It just better not be at me.
Okay, Xenagos is going to trigger, and I'm gonna target my plant.
It's a 16-17?
It's a 16-17.
Gross.
Oh boy.
That's so rough.
With the Mage Slayer?
So this is what my deck was built to do.
my
Carolyn, I'm gonna swing at you for 16 damage. However, the Mage Slayer just is immediately gonna do 16 to you.
Oh gosh. I'll go down to 4.
All right, sick.
This is perfect because now I can kill Carolyn with just one of my flyers. I got 2 flyers, she's got none, she's at 4. It's actually all working out.
I will block with Cheville.
Okay, so in response, I'm going to tap another 2. I'm gonna cast Fling. I'm gonna sacrifice my plant token.
Oh no. Fling can hit a player. I'm a player. So in this moment, I'm thinking that Jimmy's gonna fling this at my face.
Here's the thing, I could just fire this damage at Carolyn and finish her off, but looking at the board, Dee has a 4/4 flyer, and I think Carolyn's a huge threat against him in a 1v1, so I'm hoping that Dee spends a little bit of his turn getting rid of her, and that's gonna give me the perfect opportunity to finish it off the next turn. Okay, I'm gonna sacrifice my plant token and send 16 damage at Dee.
Yeah!
Wow. Okay, I take 16.
Go to 8.
Really? I mean, I understand that that'd be pretty rude to fling it at Carolyn, but come on, Jimmy. How long we know each other? You gonna do this to me? You gonna All right, okay, it's fine.
All right, my board is now looking real gross, but you know what? I think I can make it. I got 20 life, got 2 blockers. I think I'm fine. I'm gonna discard due to hand size. That is the end of my turn, so I'll pass turn.
Okay, let's see what I can do.
So Dee has a 4/4 flyer. I'm down to 4, barely hanging on. There's lethal on the board for me now. I'm not sure how I'm going to get out of this.
I'm gonna untap, I'm gonna draw.
Land?
So now I'm also down a single-digit life total, but I have no cards in hand, and if Jimmy equips Mage Slayer to any creature, he's gonna kill one of us next turn, guaranteed. So I guess Carolyn and I have to be friends again. I'm not gonna mess with you, we're okay.
We're party
We're
members.
still party members,
We're
yeah.
partying.
So even though I could kill you with Drana, I'm not going to. We're just gonna deal with Jimmy as much as we can.
Oh, no, don't make a deal. Just take her out. It's so easy. You have it on board. Who wouldn't do it? In your position, Dee, who wouldn't do it? You can still swing at me with stuff. Please.
So I'm gonna swing at you, Jimmy, with Drana, Nighthawk, Yahenni, and Null Priest.
I am just gonna chump block Yahenni with the Gate Creeper Vine. And then my Gate Creeper Vine will die. And then I have to take the rest.
All right, so Jimmy, you take 14.
Hey, okay. I go to 6.
Nice.
And then since Gate Creeper Vine dies, Yahenni's gonna get a +1/+1 counter.
Oh, jeez.
6/6 now?
Oh, yeah.
Good news is Dee put Jimmy in range of me being able to take him out. And I'm alive for at least one more round. Bad news is I'm still at 4 life and Dee's still got a bunch of flyers in the air.
And then, because of lifelink, I gain 10 life.
Ooh.
Bring me up to 18.
That's a big swing right there, actually.
Yeah.
And then I'll pass turn, because I don't have any cards. So I'm passing the turn, and I feel really good, because I just smacked Jimmy for a ton of damage, and Carolyn knows that she has to swing at him in order to save her own life. While she's at 4, I'm at 18. I got 2 flyers in the air. She's got no flyers. She's done next turn. This game's in the bag.
I will untap, draw. Interesting. Now I've got 2 objectives, to kill Jimmy and survive. I need to neutralize the flyers on Dee's board. Okay, so I'm gonna be dead, regardless of any politicking or whatever, I'm gonna be dead to those flyers. So I better play a flyer of my own. Zagras, Thief of Heartbeats.
Wow. And it only costs 2 mana?
Only costs 2 mana.
Okay, she's got 1 flyer. I still got twice as many flyers as she does, and she's still 4 life. It's a cool card, but I'm not worried.
And now I'm gonna cast Agent of Treachery. D, I'm sorry, but I gotta target your Nighthawk.
I don't blame you. I'd want it as well. I'm gonna actually sacrifice the Phyrexian Altar though, because I don't want you to have it.
Okay. I'm no longer dead on board to D. Hooray! The Agent of Treachery didn't manage to steal anything, but that's still okay because now there's only 1 flyer and now I can block it.
Losing my Nighthawk's not too big of a deal because I can get him back with Drana next turn, but I have no cards in hand and Carolyn has a fistful of them. She just bought herself another turn. The longer this game goes, the less likely I'll be able to win. It's not over, but now I'm feeling pretty behind.
Okay, I'm gonna move to combat then. D, we made the deal. I'm not gonna attack you. I'm gonna be cool.
I appreciate it.
But I will attack Jimmy with a whole bunch. I'm coming at you with the 2 priests, Trapfinder, Tazri, and Alesha. And give Tazri +1/+1 and flying.
Okay, I'm just gonna put my plant in front of any of them, it doesn't matter, and then I'm just gonna take a buttload of damage and die. So I guess I died to a full party.
Oh yeah, this is great. Everybody's having fun. Why do I feel so
Dead. However, the plant does die, so D, you get another +1/+1 counter on you, Henny.
Yes, that's what I call value.
And then I will draw 4 cards.
Sweet.
That's all I can do. Go to cleanup step. I have 8 cards. I will discard an Overgrown Tomb and pass the turn. All right, now it's down to 1v1, me versus D. This is a very precarious situation. I'm still only at 4 life. 1 removal spell could really mess me up and lose the game. I think I can still pull this off, but everything's gotta go my way.
So Jimmy's out, now it's 1v1, Carolyn and I, but I have 0 cards in hand and she has a full hand of 7. I'm pretty scared because at this point I have to top deck something amazing or I'm gonna lose. I will untap, I will draw. If this card is a removal spell, I could presumably win right now.
Just kill the 1 flyer?
And just kill the 1 flyer and I'm top decking because I got nothing in hand. Here we go.
Does it do stuff?
Doesn't do much.
It doesn't do much.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
This is very interesting. Okay, at first I thought this was gonna be an easy win for D. He just sacks his bodyguard, gives his flyer protection, and then boom, 4 damage in. But the bodyguard has a bounty counter on it. And if you read Shevel, it's gonna draw her a card and gain her 3 life when it dies. That means he's no longer gonna be swinging for lethal. I honestly don't know how he's gonna get around this.
Okay, so you have 1 flyer, it's a 4/4.
Yep.
And I really wanna see Drana finally use her ability. So I'm gonna attack you with just Drana. When she attacks, her ability is gonna trigger. I only have 1 creature in my graveyard, so I assume you're gonna select my Nighthawk Scavenger.
I do.
Comes out into the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter. And then go to blocks. At this point, she has to block Drana with her only flyer and they'll trade, which is totally fine because I have plenty of mana. I can recast my commander and we'll be right back where we were. 2 flyers in the air, 0 flyers for Carolyn.
I have to block with Zagras, Thief of Heartbeats. They're both 4/4s.
So they'll trade.
I normally wouldn't do this just for 1 card. I'm gonna cast Heroic Intervention.
Oh.
The important part in this situation is the Indestructible. Hexproof is always great, but Indestructible allows me to kill his creature without my creature dying, so it's still around to block next turn.
Okay, so Drana dies. And I'll put her back into the command zone.
But Zagras will live because he has Indestructible.
I will then, on my second main phase, I will recast Drana. And then I will pass the turn.
Ooh, this is tense.
So at this point, we're right back where we were. I got 2 flyers in there, she's got 1. If she doesn't find an answer, I'll kill her next turn.
All right, untap my million billion permanents, and then I will draw a card. Okay.
Can you kill him this turn?
Can I
18
kill him
damage.
this
You have a lot of damage. He has 5 blockers.
I know my board looks full and I have a ton of creatures, but they're all really little creatures. So I'm counting up my stuff and how many blockers D has. Also having to factor in that some of his stuff has lifelink. It's a lot of math, but I don't think I can kill him this turn. Okay, so I'm dead to your flyers if I have to win this turn, or I'm dead, basically.
Or remove the flyers, I think would also save you.
Or remove the flyers, but I'm at 4. I'm not feeling very confident. So I'm gonna cast Allied Strategies. I have all 5 basic land types, so I'm gonna draw 5 cards.
Domain.
It's pretty good.
Since I can't kill him, I need to find a way to kill one of the flyers, or he'll kill me. I'm trying to draw as many cards as possible, dig through as much of my deck as I can, and hopefully find a Deus Ex Machina at the end.
Gonna do it?
No, this is just like nothing, grasping at straws. I was hoping to find an answer to a flyer. I did not find one, so my recourse now is to attack with creatures and try and draw off of them to keep digging for an answer. At the beginning of combat, I'm gonna give Tazri the +1/+1 in flying.
Okay.
So I'm gonna swing at you again with the 2 priests, Alesha, Tazri, Agent of Treachery, Reese, and the Stonework Pack Beast.
And they all have death touch because of your vampire.
Okay, so I'm gonna block your Agent of Treachery with my Null Priest, and then I'm gonna block your Arch Priest with the Yeheni. And then before damage is done, I'm gonna sack the Null Priest to Yeheni, giving it indestructible so it doesn't die to your death touch.
Okay, so Archpriest is gonna die.
Which then triggers Yeheni, and I get a +1/+1 counter.
And the Agent of Treachery is still blocked, so you will take 13 damage.
Go down to 5.
Whoa.
So she brings me down to 5, but I'm not really worried about the damage. I'm more worried about the card she's drawing. If she draws an answer for even one of my flyers, this game's over. I'm done.
And because 5 of my creatures dealt damage to you, they trigger off the Nimble Trap Finder, so I will draw 5 cards.
Can't you do it?
Please, please, nothing.
What is that card?
I mean,
Gonna do it?
Does that save you? Man, the math in this game is insanity.
okay, so one of the cards I drew was Spoils of Adventure. It only costs 2 because I've got a full party. Now we'll draw 3,
2 mana, draw 3, gain 3.
That's insane.
and I will go to 7.
Wow.
I put this card in the deck because I thought the card draw would be more important, but what's actually more important now is the 3 life, which I think and I hope is gonna keep me alive. I'm gonna go to my end step where I have magical 18 cards.
Wow.
Sadly, 11 of those will go to my graveyard. I will pass the turn.
So 3 life doesn't sound like a lot, but it means that I can't kill Carolyn on my turn. My 4/4 flyer is gonna get through, but she's still gonna be at 3, and she'll definitely be able to kill me on her next turn, which means I gotta draw something really good right now or the game is over. All right, I will untap and then I will draw. All right, well, I don't have many options and I haven't drawn many cards this game, so I'd like to draw more cards.
Oh, you got a card draw spell.
So I'm gonna play Siphon Mind, which is not very good with only one person, but I'll take what I can get right now. You know, at least it's not a land. I get one more draw, I get one more chance to top deck something good. Please, 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 please.
I will discard Gonti, Sword of Luxury.
I will draw 1 card.
This could be it. All that has to happen now is he doesn't draw anything good.
I will draw a card off Siphon Mind. Ooh,
So now what happens?
that's pretty good.
Oh.
I think this actually does it. I think this is actually exactly what I need. Okay, so I'm going to sack Yeheni, as weird as it sounds, to Phyrexian Altar for a black mana, and then I'm gonna tap 4 more to play Gary.
Brave Virgin.
So my current devotion to black is 6, which means you take 6 and I gain 6.
Uh-oh.
I'll go down to 1.
Okay, I'll go up to 11.
So here we are where we were 2 turns ago. He's got 2 flyers, I've only got 1. This is it, this is bad, this is the end.
And then I'm gonna declare attacks, and I'm gonna swing at you with both Drana and Nighthawk.
Well, I only have 1 flyer, so you've got 2 flyers. And then I die to some flying vampires. Looks like this party's over. So, you know what that means? Congratulations.
Wow.
You won the game.
And then I fly in with my vampires and win the game.
This game had a crazy ending. It just constantly was flip-flopping. Carolyn was ahead, Dee was ahead. I didn't know who was gonna win. 3 life mattered a ton. That's what makes the format so great.
It was really cool to play with the new cards from Zendikar Rising. It's one of my absolute favorite planes. It's great to see all these old characters returning. There's a lot of new cool mechanics. I love the double-sided cards that are half land, half cards. I think I'm gonna fit a lot of those in my commander decks. I'm really excited to get my hands on them.
The party mechanic's really cool. It actually came together way faster than I thought it would. It seems like kind of crazy that you can play things for so much cheaper if you've got party members.
It's always great to bring new friends to the table, especially ones that you've been playing Commander with for a long time. Carolyn and Dee both brought these Vorthosy themed decks to the table, and it was great fun to play against them and have them be super competitive as well. That to me is the spirit of Magic, is that you really get to build whatever you want, and as long as you're doing it right, you can make it work. I guess at the end of the day, it was a party in more ways than one.
All right,
Woo-hoo!
you made it to the end of the episode.
And neither of us won.
No.
Sad.
We were the first 2 out. It was a pretty cool game, actually.
Yeah, nail biter at the end there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who was going to take it.
Anyway, a huge thanks to UltraPro who sponsors the Game Nights episodes. If you notice, we have these amazing playmats on the battlefield. We put our cards in these very protective sleeves. UltraPro provides all of the accoutrement that adorn our battlefield and make it cool to play and cool to watch.
Yeah, you may have noticed that in this particular episode, the cards seemed a little more vibrant on the table. That's because we were all using the new Pro Gloss Eclipse sleeves from UltraPro, which have that sweet Eclipse shuffle feel, but don't have that sort of dulling quality that the old Eclipses had. That your cards really shine out of those things. So really, really cool. All right. As always, UltraPro is giving away a ton of swags, deck boxes, sleeves, playmats, all kinds of stuff to our viewers. Also, Card Kingdom throwing their hat back in the ring. They're going to be giving away a bunch of stuff. Jimmy, if people want to win that stuff, how do they enter?
Well, it's super simple because you have 1 week from the posting of this video to enter on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. If you're on Twitter, all you have to do is post a link to this episode of Game Nights as well as use the hashtag Game Nights. That's Nights with a K. If you're on Facebook, go to our Facebook page and find the post that shares this episode. And in the comments section of that, simply tag a friend that you think might want to watch this episode. Finally, if you're on Instagram, super simple. You can make any post you want as long as you use the hashtag Game Nights, and we'll be able to track it again that way. We'll be announcing all of the winners a week from the release date of this episode, so that means that's all the time you have to enter, so don't miss out.
Yeah, once we've released the winners, then you can no longer enter to win. So
yeah.
1 week. All right, we know you're all sticking around because you're wondering about the auditions for Game Nights. We've done this the past couple of years where we've picked some lucky fans from out there to come on the show, sit across from Jimmy and I, and battle it out. Ooh. We're doing that once again. So here's how it's going to work. Patrons are going to be the ones who are qualified to audition for the show. You also have to be 18 years of age or older. We're sorry to our younger fans, that's just a legal thing. So what we're going to do is create a post on our Patreon page. There's also going to be a link in the show notes for this video. So if you're a patron at any tier, you're going to get all the information you need about how to audition. The deadline for auditions is going to be about a month from now, and we should say right off the bat, it's totally fine if you want to join the Patreon just to audition for the show.
Yep, totally. And again, all of the information is going to be posted on that page. It's patreon.com/CommandZone. And of course, we had Game Night's Kickstarter people from last year that also qualified to audition. So if you are at or above the champion level, you're also going to be eligible to audition. And we're just going to send you all of those details via email. So no need for you to also sign up for the Patreon. You have already given back to us on that Kickstarter, so we'll just be contacting you personally with all the same details.
Yeah, that were people at the champion level or above tier from last year's Kickstarter, the one with the coins.
Yeah.
But again, we'll be contacting you, so you don't have to do anything. You'll get all that information. But you do have to do something. Pay attention to your email. Yeah.
And we'll let you all know. We'll probably post a update on the Kickstarter to those tiers and above, so you'll have a couple of notifications coming your way.
And one last thing, obviously because of the pandemic that has affected the auditions, we normally would have done them earlier in the year. We're doing them later. We also aren't sure exactly at this point when we're going to be able to shoot it next year. We're hoping in 2021, obviously, that we will at some point be able to do this. Every year we get asked by people who want to audition, like, oh, when are you going to shoot it? Because I have things planned throughout the year and yada, yada, yada. Here's the thing. If you are chosen, as the winner from the auditions to be on the show, we're going to work with you to figure out a date that works for everybody. So don't worry too much about that.
Yep. Just get your butt over to Patreon and check out how to enter. We're going to be posting all of this stuff again only on the Patreon page if you're a patron, and if you're a Game As Kickstarter person, we'll send you an email. All right. Again, certain restrictions will apply. All of those details, though, will be found out once you get in.
Yeah,
Patreon.
Yeah, you got to join the Patreon to get all the details, and then you can audition. All right, good luck, everybody. I look forward to watching everyone's audition, and thank you for watching Game Nights.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.